For our commencement address, please welcome the newest alumnus of the University of Bridgeport, Dr. Manish Chowdhary.
Two little mice fell in a bucket of cream. The first mouse quickly gave up and drowned. The second mouse wouldn't give up. He struggled so hard that eventually he churned that cream into butter and crawled out. Friends, I am that second mouse. I'm one of you, graduate of the class of 2000. It wasn't long ago that I was sitting where you are sitting today. But the world sure has changed an awful lot. We had Justin Timberlake, you have Justin Bieber. We hardly had internet on campus, and you have Wi-Fi everywhere, and the ceremony is being streamed live. Life moves fast. According to a recent study, the average attention span of a graduating senior has dropped from 12 seconds in my time to 8 seconds today. So, your average attention span is, in fact, 1 second less than that of a goldfish. If you're worried that I'm now going to pretend to be the wise old fish who will try to stuff platitudes down your guppy throats, please don't be. If I lose you in the next 7 seconds, please feel free to pull out your smartphones and Snapchat Kim Kardashian's latest racy pics to each other, or tweet whom the Donald should fire next, or post your pics to Facebook from the crazy party you went to last night. And if you're really in the mood of sharing and would like to share them with staff and faculty, send them to President Salonen, whose social handle is Big Sal on campus. And he'll be happy to retweet it as soon as he's done with the next level on Candy Crush Saga. Hashtag UBGrad2016. Let me express my deepest gratitude for the extraordinary honor and for the privilege of addressing you today. Congratulations, class of 2016. Congratulations, parents, relatives, family, and friends. Give yourself another big round of applause. You did it! Let's face it, I'm not the traditional choice for commencement speaker. My story is a unique one, and it would not have been possible anywhere but UB. My journey to America would not have happened without UB's generous AEL scholarship. I came to UB as a foreign student on Wednesday, 27th of August, 1997. Just 3 days later, our director of campus activities, Adina Ostreicher, took us on our first trip to New York City as part of student orientation. My roommate and I lost $400 on a game of 3-card Monte right outside Central Park. We had no idea how the game was played, but it looked pretty simple. And the prospect of doubling my money immediately upon arrival seemed like the perfect start to my American dream. That was all the money I had. My parents lived in a small village in Western India when I was born. At the time, there was no electricity or telephone. Neither of my parents went to high school. That is why, at the tender age of 4, I was sent to my uncle's 1,000 miles away just so that I could receive an education. I didn't have my own room, so I studied in the bathroom at night so I wouldn't wake others up. At UB, I failed music, linear algebra, and electrical engineering courses. Music, because it was a very early 8 a.m. class in the ABC building, which only few of us were genetically engineered to wake up for. I failed linear algebra because I thought I could just show up for the exams and not for the classes. And I failed electrical engineering because it was really tough, and I struggled with the concepts. I was put on academic probation in my second semester at UB. But that did not stop me from driving all the way to Stanford just to sit in on Professor Mahmood's software engineering courses on Saturday mornings, or to build my first IVR software application under Dr. Sobe. So you get the drift. I wasn't the smartest kid, but I had this other thing called grit. I'm here today to share with you some facts about success that may truly surprise you. C students might find this particularly interesting, so you may want to listen up. Have you ever wondered what makes someone a great athlete, or a great leader, or an awesome parent? Why do some people accomplish their goals while others fail? What makes the difference? You're probably thinking social intelligence, IQ, physical health, or even good looks. The word talent invariably comes up when you tend to describe top performers. But we all know that there is more to the story than that. In fact, when you start looking into it, your talent and intelligence don't play nearly as big of a role as you might think. Groundbreaking research is beginning to show that it's your mental toughness, or grit, as they call it, plays a more important role than anything else for achieving your goals in health, business, and life. In other words, talent is overrated. That's bad news for some of you who might be secretly hoping to blame your parents or genetics for all your failures. But the good news is you can do a lot to develop grit. Grit is the attitude to pursue very long-term goals with passion and perseverance. Grit is having stamina, sticking with your future, day in, day out, not just for the week, not just for the month, but for years, and working really hard to make that future a reality. I founded my company, GoECart, in my dorm room, number 816 in Bodine Hall, nearly 16 years ago, and I'm still at it. Grit is living life like it's a marathon, not a sprint. You have to finish things. It's not how many ideas you have, it's how many you make happen. It's all the power of your beliefs, both conscious and unconscious, and how changing even the simplest of them can have a profound impact on nearly every aspect of your life. What if I told you you could cultivate character quality that could make you remarkably successful? Yes, you can develop superhuman levels of grit. I know you can because it's all around you. Grit can even be found in the word Bridgeport. So, how do you develop grit, you ask? So far, the best idea I've heard about building grit is something called growth mindset. This is an idea developed at Stanford University by Carol Dweck. The growth mindset is based on the belief that your basic qualities like intelligence and creativity and even love and friendship are things you can cultivate through your own efforts and deliberate practice. Not only are the people with this mindset not discouraged by failure, but they actually don't see themselves as failing in those situations. They see themselves as learning. The real question, my friends, is which personality are you? Are you a fixed mindset person who assumes that your character, intelligence, and creative ability are static, that you can't change in any meaningful way? Or are you a growth mindset that thrives on challenge and sees failure not as a proof of lack of intelligence, but as a launch pad for growth? How does this happen? How can a simple belief have the power to transform your psychology and, as a result, your life? What intrigued me the most is how you can rewire your brain to adopt the growth mindset. In one word, effort is a bad thing. Why would you need effort if you were smart or talented? As you graduate today and enter the tough world outside, I encourage you to think that effort is what makes you smart or talented. UB taught me to always try harder and keep learning. So as you give your diploma the pride of place, every time you look at it, let the lamp in the upper left quadrant of the university seal remind you to keep learning and keep growing. Don't just take my word for it. This is a scientifically proven fact. Researchers conducted a study of hundreds of students where they gave each student 10 fairly challenging problems to solve and then praised them for their performance. But they offered two types of praise. Some students were told, "Wow, you got 9 right. That's a really good score. You must be really smart." While others were told, "Wow, you got 9 right. That's a really good score. You must have worked really hard." In other words, some were praised for ability and others for effort. The ability praise pushed the students right into the fixed mindset. And when researchers gave them a choice to take on an additional challenging new task, they rejected it. They didn't want to do anything that would expose their flaws or question their talent. Whereas the students that were praised for effort 90% of them wanted a challenging new assignment that they could learn from. The interesting part, however, is what happened next. When the researchers gave the same students a second set of harder problems, the students didn't do so well. The ability-praised kids thought they weren't so smart or gifted after all. If success had meant they were intelligent, then less than success meant they were inadequate. But for the effort-praised kids, the difficulty was simply a sign that they had to put in more effort, not an indication of failure or poor intellect. The most disturbing finding, however, came after the tests were completed, when the kids were asked to write private letters to friends relaying their experience. 40% of the ability-praised kids lied about their scores, inflating them to look more successful. So, what's so alarming is that we took ordinary children and made them into liars by simply telling them they were smart. Fortunately for me, my friends use a number of adjectives to describe me, like weird, crazy, dreamer, but never smart. So friends, personal success is when you work your hardest each day to become your best. I have always lived by this principle, and as you graduate today, I wish the same for you. I would like to give a special shout out to all you moms out there, without whom none of us would be here. Happy Mother's Day to all the selfless women, especially my mom, who inspire, motivate, and remind us to be more gritty every single day. It was one of my dreams to be a commencement speaker at UB someday. I never dreamt that day would come so soon. If you imagine less, less will be what you undoubtedly deserve. You might forget this day, but I never will. So Purple Knights, get out there and be that second mouse. Congrats again, and I wish you more than luck. Thank you.